Here's the deal. I'm making a Lego themed tier list. Small disclaimer, you and me won't have the same opinion on everything. If you think different of me, just leave it in the comments below and we can have a civilized discussion about it. With that being said, let's get into the tier list. Before I start ranking the themes, I want to explain how I'm interpreting each category. S tier theme to me has nostalgia, a story, longevity, great builds, and great minifigures. If a theme hits all of those, then it's S tier. A tier, it hits 4 of the 5 I just listed. B tier, 3 of the 5. C tier, 2 of the 5. D tier, 1 of the 5. And F just has nothing going for it. So to recap, I'm basing my decision off of nostalgia, longevity, story, builds, and minifigures. First off, I'm going to get the easy one out of the way. Star Wars is S tier. It's been around for 20 plus years. It has a ton of great builds, tons of great minifigures, obviously a very memorable story, and has a ton of nostalgia for a ton of people. Obvious S tier right here. Another S tier, in my opinion, is Castle. Castle has been a theme for almost as long as Lego's been around. It has a lot of nostalgia for me, tons of great builds, minifigures are cool. And I mean, it's medieval age, like that's kind of like fun story, but Castle is S tier for me. I had a ton of Chima sets growing up, but as I got older, the effects just kind of wore off on me, so I'll put Chima in C tier. Brickheadz has some cool builds, some cool characters. They look good on display, but they're nothing overly special. I'm gonna put them in C tier ahead of Chima. City. City is an interesting theme. It's been around for a long time. It has a ton of longevity. The minifigures aren't the coolest, the builds aren't the coolest, but overall, it's a pretty good theme. It's just not as exciting as some of the other themes out there. So I'm going to put it in A or B. I'll put it in A tier for now, just because it's been one of the oldest Lego themes. Even though it's not as exciting as some of them, you can't deny. Next up, I got Alpha Team here. I don't really know much about Alpha Team, but I was looking at some of the sets. It doesn't really have anything going for it, so it's going in the F category for me. Career 3-in-1 is okay. They have this new castle set that is super cool, but that's one of the only Career 3-in-1 sets I've seen and really wanted. Usually Creator 3-in-1 sets have no minifigures, and it's just like a vehicle, and I'm not a huge fan of vehicles, so Career 3-in-1 is D tier. Okay, now we'll get some of the easy ones out of the way. Friends and Elves are F. I'll put Elves in front of Friends. One of my favorite parts about Lego is the minifigures, and Friends and Elves just kind of take it away because the minifigures in there aren't minifigures to me. They're just glorified dolls, in my opinion. So Elves and Friends are F tier for me. Now we'll do Classic. Classic is usually just a jumble of bricks in a box, and you can make whatever you want out of it. Sometimes I'll have just like little mini plain houses or animals, so Classic doesn't really have much going for me. It's F tier. I'm gonna put it ahead of Elves and Friends though. A lot of F tiers off the bat. So let's get some good ones up in here. Let's do Ninjago. So obviously, Ninjago has a huge fan base. I personally loved Ninjago as a kid, especially the first wave of sets that had the Garmadon castle, like the skull themed bike and castle, all that stuff. Those were cool sets. And then we got into the snakes, and the snake sets were still cool, but over time, Ninjago has steadily gone downhill. If I'm ranking Ninjago based on its first couple seasons alone, I'm going S tier for Ninjago. But it's definitely gone downhill, so I'm going to put it in A tier. I'll put it ahead of City, though. Now, Harry Potter to me is just the definition of mid. I'm so sick of getting Ron, Harry Potter, and Hermione in the same set, and also just getting a variation of Hogwarts Castle as well. So Harry Potter to me is B, even though it's been around for a long time. It's just mid tier. I don't know if any of you remember Exoforce at all, but it was a solid theme. Exoforce kind of bridged the gap between Bionicle and Lego, and it brought us a ton of mechs. I think it's C tier, and I'm gonna put it ahead of Brickheadz. Next up, we'll do Bionicle, and next up we got Bionicle, and in my TikTok video, I put Bionicle at C tier. So let me give you my reasoning for that. When you have Bionicle, I had Bionicle personally, I had a ton of it. It's a separate bin from your Lego collection. Like I have the Bionicle bin and I have the Lego bin. To some people, that's the unique thing about Bionicle. That's what makes it awesome, is how it's so unique. But to me, it's just not the same as all the other Lego themes because they don't get put together the same way as some of the other Lego bricks. A huge reason why Lego is such a cool product is every theme you can take apart what you build and connect it to whatever else. Another set or a bunch of bricks. Bionicle, you can't do that. You can do that within the Bionicle theme, but not with all the other Lego themes. So to me, Bionicle is upper C, lower B. I'll put in lower B. I'm just gonna do some fun ones right now that I really like. 2008 was just kind of like a golden era for me for nostalgia with Lego. I just remember opening the Lego catalog and seeing these themes specifically. I'll just put those all up right now. Space Police, Monster Fighters, Power Miners, Atlantis, Alien Quest, Pharaoh's Quest. My favorite of those was Space Police. I think Space Police is upper B, lower A. I think it's better than Harry Potter. I'm putting it B tier for now. Top of B tier. Monster Fighters also B tier. Behind Space Police though, I like Space Police better. Power Miners as well. I'm not putting it ahead of Harry Potter. I really liked Power Miners, but I don't think it's better than Harry Potter. Alien Conquest has the same nostalgic feel, but it wasn't as great in my opinion. I think it's the best C tier we got right now. Atlantis 2, I don't think it was spectacular, but I'll put it B tier ahead of Bionicle. And Pharaoh's Quest. Pharaoh's Quest is awesome. I really loved Pharaoh's Quest. More than Atlantis. You know, Atlantis is going upper C tier for me. Next up, I got Pirates. Pirates is one of those themes that Lego has had for so long, and it's been so good forever. Every time a pirate set comes out, it's just so cool. Like the Pirates of Barracuda Bay. I'm wrapping up Pirates of the Caribbean into this theme because it's not with the rest of these themes. I have to put Pirates in S tier. In my opinion, it's not better than Castle, but Pirates is an S tier theme. It's been around for 20 plus years. It has great story, great minifigures, great sets, just great everything. Pirates is S tier. Creator Expert. Creator Expert is a top tier theme just because of the modular buildings that theme has brought us. It hasn't been around for the longest time, but for the time it's been around, it is a top tier theme. It's not S tier. It hasn't been around long enough to be S tier, but in my opinion, it's better than Ninjago and City. It's top of A tier. Ideas is another set that is slowly becoming one of the best Lego themes currently, because it brings us so many sets that we normally wouldn't have gotten. If you don't know what the Ideas theme is, a bunch of people can submit whatever idea they want to this Ideas website, and the people vote on the set that they want. So Ideas has brought us Winnie the Pooh, a Sonic set, a Sesame Street set, the TV show Friends set, and now a TV show The Office set, and just countless others. The Ecto 1, the Ghostbusters Firehouse, and the Back to the Future car. So I'm putting Ideas in A tier behind Creator Expert. Next up, we got Galaxy Squad. Galaxy Squad is D tier. I only remember the alien minifigures from this, the bug-like ones, but I thought those were cool when I was little, but other than that, the builds just weren't that great. Just not super memorable. Mars Mission is top of D tier for me, maybe lower C tier. The builds weren't that great, but I don't know if you guys remember this, but Lego.com had the coolest Mars Mission game, and I would play that game a lot. It was super fun. I remember that. So Mars Mission is basically in D, top of D, because of nostalgia for me. Minecraft. I'm putting Minecraft in the D tier, bottom of D tier. Collectible minifigures is an A tier theme, for sure. It's better than Ninjago. 20 plus series now for minifigures. And they bring us a ton of new minifigures that we would have never gotten. And they also bring us huge batches of minifigures from our favorite themes, like Marvel. Hopefully they'll bring us a Star Wars one someday, but I doubt it will happen. We can hope, but I doubt it will happen. So A tier for minifigures. All right, now we just got a bunch of bad themes left. Some good ones mixed in. Galador, F tier theme. Jurassic World is top of C tier for me. Maybe lower B tier. I'm just trying to not overflow B tier. I might move it up to B tier, but the builds weren't that great to me. The minifigures weren't that great. The only thing Jurassic World had going for it was the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs are great. They're cool. They brought us the dinosaurs back. We hadn't seen them for a while. But other than that, not much going for it. Now, Lord of the Rings has some cool sets, cool minifigures. It's a pretty good theme. There's some nostalgia wrapped up in there. I never got into Lord of the Rings when the sets came out, so I didn't buy any. But looking back on it, I wish I did. The Battle of Helm's Deep, top tier sets with top tier minifigures. I'm going to wrap The Hobbit into this theme as well. The Dragon set, I forget what it's called, but I think it's the Lonely Mountain. The Lonely Mountain set with the dragon is a super cool set as well. I'm going to put Lord of the Rings on top of B tier. Indiana Jones is another oldish theme that has some nostalgia, a lot of nostalgia actually. I really love the Indiana Jones video game. I'm going to put it in A tier. I'm going to put Indiana Jones ahead of City in A tier, not ahead of Ninjago though. It's great, but it's not that great. Now Mixels. Mixels was just bad. Next on Knights is garbage. Overwatch, I don't know much about Overwatch. I'm so over mechs at this point, and Overwatch brought us a ton of mechs. It's bottom of D tier. Next up, we got Hero Factory. Hero Factory to me is a D tier theme. I really liked Hero Factory because it was kind of like Bionicle, and I really liked Bionicle as a kid, but it never really caught on. Toy Story for me is also D tier, but ahead of Galaxy Squad. I really like the Toy Story movies, but it didn't translate well to Lego form in my opinion. Like the Woody minifigure is just so awkward. So D tier for Toy Story. Speed Champions is solid, nothing great. I'm so sick of just building vehicles, and Speed Champions is just all cars, and the minifigures are just Joe Schmoes with helmets on. So D tier for Speed Champions, but ahead of Toy Story. DC Superheroes is a great theme. It's brought so many great sets and great characters. The old Batman sets are awesome. The ice cream truck, the Joker ice cream truck, the tumbler, the Joker helicopter. Now we're getting these giant UCS sets like the tumbler, the Batwing, and the Batmobile with the unique minifigures. Those sets are elite. DC Superheroes is an A tier theme for me, and even better than Ninjago. Next up, we got Marvel Superheroes. I really love the minifigures and the Marvel Superheroes theme. They're better than the DC ones in my opinion. However, the only thing the Marvel Lego sets don't have going for them is the builds. The builds are terrible. Almost every Marvel set just feels like a play set. They do have that one new Guardians of the Galaxy set that is dope. They need to do that more. If they keep doing that, Marvel Superheroes will be an A tier theme, but for now, it's B tier ahead of Harry Potter. Okay, now I gotta get this one out of the way. Technic, it's just not a great theme in my opinion. I just don't like Technic sets. I got one for Christmas and the build was awful. The final product was really cool, but the build was awful. I'm gonna put Technic behind Toy Story. That's a little too much in D tier. I'm gonna put Mars Mission up to C. Ultra Agents is basically Alpha Team, but newer, so it's a little bit better. Still F tier though. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I never got into this show, this movie, whatever it is. I had one car set that was kind of cool, but Ninja Turtles isn't a great theme. I'll put it in D tier. Finally, we got the Lego Movie. The Lego Movie brought us some awesome unique sets. The one flying truck plumber car, that was cool. Benny's spaceship. Also Brickpocalypseburg. That is one of the coolest Lego sets I've seen. It has the tilted Statue of Liberty with the Brickpocalypse underneath it. Just an awesome set. The minifigures were okay, so I'm gonna have it in bottom of B or top of C. I'll put it in the top of C. So you can see all the themes. I'm gonna move Overwatch down to F tier. All right, so that is my completed Lego themed tier list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you disagree with anything, let me know what you disagree with and how you'd switch things around. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.